I like still life of this kind because of its concentration. There's an intensity, you really get drawn into the subject. And often when I've finished something, when I set it up so that it just feels right. It just feels right. But then when I finish the painting, the geometry becomes clearer then, and I can see parallels and triangles and the way it works visually. But this is just, in setting it up, just instinctive. I don't like still lifes that are cluttered, too much going on. I like a certain sense of concentration or austerity, and you can concentrate on the geometry of the thing then. If it's not too cluttered, they actually take on personality then. I mean, I think of each of these pairs, it's going to be like a totally different individual pair. This paint's dry as soon as it's down, so you've got to be pretty sure what you're doing. So it has to be pretty well thoroughly planned out, with minor adjustments as things go. It's a disciplined way of painting. I don't like to build it up too thickly, otherwise you lose a translucency coming through from the underpainting. A lot of the things I like to paint, you can't buy them in the condition that I like to paint them, with the greenery still on them or stalks intact. It's an important part of the subject to me. But if you go to buy them from a greengrocer or a supermarket, they've usually cut all the best bits off. Also, you get less conformity with homegrown stuff, less uniformity, so you've got more variation and interest. I mean, the tempera painters that inspired me to start painting in tempera were living contemporary painters, Andrew Wyeth and David Tyndall. But then the imagery that inspired me is the older imagery, and I suppose the technique of realist painting. There was an exhibition of the Spanish painters in London at the British Museum, and that really inspired me. I was already doing things along the lines of that genre, but those particular paintings, the Khotan and the Zurbaran, I thought, yeah, that's the way I want to work with the still life. The way I work is about emotional response to things rather than intellectualizing about them. And I think I respond to objects that I come across and see, things that I witness or happen, and just moments in life. So it's about an emotional response to moments in life and objects come across. Like, for instance, walking past a doorway and seeing an unmade bed and thinking, yeah, that's a terrific subject. It's just an emotional response to something come across. Or walking into a room and the way the light's falling across the wall, an emotional response to that, and a desire to translate that into paint, into an image. I only get impatient when it's not going right. When I feel it's going right, I'm okay with it. If something goes wrong with it and I feel it's not working, I get very impatient then. But just stick at it until it does work. Well, not even thinking, am I being receptive? It's just little triggers go off. More so than I think used to be the case. Years ago I can remember finishing a picture and not being able to think what the next one should be. Whereas now, I can't keep up with the ideas. I write them down as they come and try to prioritise them. But there are always more ideas, more subjects that I can keep up with, which is good.